Hey, my friend, it's Cameron here. I'd like to welcome you to this video on the endless traffic goldmine. This is the video one, and really what we're going to get into in this one is just the groundwork of the endless traffic goldmine, because you're probably wondering, what is traffic, or, even yesterday I sent out an email last night, asking people what would you like to talk about more, and the biggest question that people had was, how do we get traffic? So this is what we're going to cover. We're actually going to be going over 12-part video series, which you're on video 1 now, which is called the Endless Traffic Goldmine. Whenever you're getting started, you might not know what traffic is, and traffic just pretty much how do you get visitors to come to your website and see your products and offers. This is what we're covering. We're going to cover the groundwork here. When you get started online, traffic and conversions is the most important skill that you could ever learn when you're starting your own internet business. So it's super important that we cover all the foundational stuff. And this is what you're going to learn about all inside the Endless Traffic Goldmine right here. Some of the other things that we're going to cover is the strategies and the game plan. That's in the next video. Then we're going to be covering tracking and conversions in the next video after that. Then we're going to be setting up and looking at influencer marketing, 24-hour traffic, social media hacks, display traffic, search media on specifically Google. Then we're going to be looking at CPA traffic, syndicate traffic, automated traffic machine. Then we're going to be looking at retargeting traffic media. So that's when we retarget everything. I'm going to explain a little bit about that for you in this video too. So the big fact here is that 63% of all businesses online say that their biggest challenge is traffic generation. So if we got great at traffic generation and mastered traffic, we could go and leverage that skill to start our own agency and run traffic campaigns for different businesses, or even just get great at generating traffic for ourselves. So this is a super important topic, and it's really your responsibility and your moral obligation to get your product, if it changes people's lives for the better, to get your product into as many people's hands as possible through traffic generation. And that's how we get people and visitors to come to our site, and that's what we're going to be covering. So nothing else matters in your business apart from traffic generation and conversions. Your business will just die out and it will cease to live if you do not get great at getting people to come to your website, specifically getting the right people to come to your website, and then communicating with the people in the right way to convert your traffic into leads and sales, and ultimately a long-term loyal raving fan and customer for life. Nothing else matters, like I said, apart from traffic generation. You don't want to go ahead and follow the follower whenever you're running traffic. So when you see like other people and how they're generating traffic out there in the marketplace, if you go ahead and just do what everybody else is doing, you go ahead and get what everybody else is getting. So what you want to do is you kind of want to be a little bit different than everybody else. You want to stand head and shoulders above your competition. You might be selling the same product, but there's something more that we're going to cover, that we're going to cover in this video. I'm going to tell you a little bit more near to the end. Ultimately, it drives up the cost to acquire customers. So basically, everybody's going to Facebook right now, and everybody's going to Facebook to run paid ads and to get customers. And the Facebook user growth actually went into decline recently, so less people are going on to Facebook to actually use it and communicate with people on the community side of things there. The amount of users going to Facebook has actually went into decline, with less people on the actual social platform and more people flocking to Facebook to actually get traffic. The whole supply and demand thing is there's less supply and more demand, so that drives up the cost of supply, and it costs you more and more money to get in front of them people than it used to a few years ago. And even with Facebook organic growth, with more and more people coming online, posting stuff and getting in front of people, and there's less people actually on the platform, your reach is getting throttled. So when everybody's going to Facebook to get traffic and things like that there, we can be a little bit more strategic and a little bit more smarter in ways to get in traffic. So we don't really want to depend on social media, but we leverage it. We do leverage it just like everybody else, but we don't depend on it, and that's a super important thing. The reason why that is, like I said, it's driving up the cost on Facebook. because there's less people on there and more people are trying to get in front of these people. So instead of going to Facebook, YouTube, Google, or any specific traffic platform, we want to dig our own fresh well of water to drink out of. How do we actually get traffic? We'll go over some of these ideas, okay? But the ideas are basically we want to get traffic, we want to manage the traffic, and then we want to multiply traffic, okay? And you can look into building out business really in two ways. So there's two different ways that you can look at generating traffic and conversions online. You could be doing it one way, which could be in the transactional business. So you're just out there and you're like hunting for a sale, then you make a sale, and then right, you're going out there and you're hunting for another sale, and then you have to just keep repeating that process over and over again. Where if we think about more of customer acquisition business, so you want to build a brand around this here, which is going to get you 10 times more the results when you build something long term like a brand around selling a specific product, passion, or idea, instead of just trying to sell your specific product, passion, or idea. So you want to build something long term and a brand which kind of helps you stand out, and it's ultimately going to make you more money in the long term because you're building trust with people and all this cool stuff. There's two different ways that we can think about this. We can think about traffic generation of transactional, just like how fast can we make a sale right now, or we can think of it in the terms of brand building and really creating long-term loyal raving customers for life. So just like any great sport, there's going to be rules to the game. So we're going to cover some of the rules in this video, and if you want to get great at the game of football, you're going to be better than someone who doesn't know the rules. So if you're playing football and you know the rules of the game, you're going to play football way better than somebody who doesn't know the rules of the game. So that's what we're going to cover, the basic groundworks and the foundational stuff of traffic generation in this video. Over this series, we're going to be talking about getting traffic, converting traffic into leads and sales and customers, communicating with your traffic, and building a tribe of loyal raving fans and customers. Okay, so this is the approach that we have to take to win big over the long term, okay, and build a long term lasting business. Because, you know, if you're just wanting to make a sale and that's your end game, you're not going to win, my friend, because most of the time, even the big companies, they usually lose money on the front end, and you want to play that long term game because that's when you're going to really get your 5 and 10x your return on investment. So we're going to jump in here, and I'm going to share with you on the screen the number one rule of traffic. So if you can see on my screen here, this is an example. So everything you want to do online, you want to be thinking never wasting a visitor, okay? So these are ideas that you can apply to anything online. So if you're offline products, online brick and mortar business selling cakes, whatever your product, passion, or idea is, you can apply these here strategies to what we're talking about. So for example, let's say if you're an affiliate for a company and you're sending people to a website that you don't have any control over. So let's say this is your affiliate product here, this is the sales page for it, and what you're doing, you have no control over this page. And let's say you're out there and you're doing your Facebook posts and you're sending traffic straight to the sales page, and then you're running banner ads on Facebook and you're sending that straight to the sales page. Then you're out here, you're doing YouTube videos, you're sending that to the sales page. You've got Google ads going to the sales page. All these things are just going to the sales page. Now let's just say that, for instance, that we generated 1,000 visitors. Now let's say if we're lucky, we get like 1% conversion. So for example, we've sent 1,000 people here, we have 1% conversion. So maybe that's 100 sales, depending on what your product, passion, or idea is, whatever that affiliate product or whatever that product is that you're selling. Now we don't have any control over this here, and we've just sent 1,000 people here. But what about the other 900 people? Well, they just bounced off that page and left into the oblivious of the internet, never to come back again. So we practically just wasted them 900 visitors that we put, or we invested our money or our time in to get in to come to our website. So this here is pretty much a big no-no. You don't really want to waste a visitor in this sort of sense. Even if you sent like 100 visitors to this site, it cost you like £1,000 to get 100 people there, or maybe it was £500, maybe it was less, maybe it was more. But basically, out of all the visitors that came, only 1% of people buy, the rest bounce. What we have to do here is, I'm going to give you a quick fix for this here solution in 2 different ways. So 1% of people buy, the other 99% of people just bounced, yet you still paid for them other 99% of them visitors that came to the site. So what you want to do is, what we're talking about here is, what are you actually in the business of? So are you in the business of selling this affiliate product or whatever your product passion or idea is? If you're just in the business of selling a product, you're not really going to win long term. What you want to do is, if you want to build your business and scale your business and have loyal raving fans and customers around your product passion or idea, you'll have to understand why would anybody buy your product passion or idea. So every product will have a particular result. What you want to do is, you want to build your business around the particular result, because that's what people really want at the end of the day. They don't necessarily want your product. If you're just sending people straight to your sales page, it's like a losing model. You'll be lucky if you get 1% conversion rate. What you want to do is, you want to figure out what that particular product delivers. What is the result it delivers? It could be literally a result or a feeling that your product can deliver. So what we want to do is, we want to build a capture mechanism. What we want to do here is, we want to put a page in between here, and I'm going to cover this here in a little second as well. So what would be a better idea is, if instead of sending, let's say, 100 visitors straight to the sales page, we do all our efforts and we send them to our opt-in page. Now you might know what this is and you might have an idea of what this is, but let's say we send all our visitors, all our traffic to an opt-in page, and on the opt-in page we actually do 2 things. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a remarketing pixel on here, and we're going to put a remarketing pixel on here. So this can be a Google one and a Facebook one. What we're going to do here is, we're going to get, say, 1,000 visitors to this site. Let's say that only we get 20 to 30% opt-in rate. So let's say that out of the 1,000 visitors, we actually get 20% conversion rate. So 200 people actually opt in and go to our sales page. Now what happens here is, we actually build a list. So what we actually do here is, we collect a name and email, and we actually start to build an email list, which means that we can send emails to the same people later. Let's say 200 people opt in, they give us their email address. What's going to happen here is, they're going to go into this specific pool here, which is another pool. Okay, so what we're actually going to do here is, we're going to do something called remarketing. We've got our retargeting pixel here on this page, and then we've got our retargeting pixel on this page. And what we're going to do is, when we send 100 visitors or 1,000 visitors to this opt-in page, 20%, so out of 1,000 visitors we get 200 people opting into our email list. Super simple. Then out of the other 800 people that didn't opt in, they go into these here pools here, and this is going to be like our remarketing pool. And when people land on this website, they don't opt in and they just bounce, we can actually serve them ads at a fraction of the cost that it cost us to bring them there in the first place. And we can follow them about on all the Google platforms like YouTube, Google, all the Google partner websites, and the Facebook apps. So we've got Instagram there, we've got Facebook, we've got other different places as well. So what we're going to do is, we're going to capture traffic here, and then for the people who didn't opt in, and even the people that did, we're going to capture them here. Now another option that we can do is, if you do have control over the sales page, you'll want to create another pixel here that's going to separate these people, because you don't really want to bring these people back to the opt-in page to opt in again, because they already opted in. What you want to do here is, you want to talk to these people a little bit differently, and then we'll bring them back to the sales page with different messages and different angles. But with the people who didn't opt in, we're going to bring them back to the opt-in page, okay, and different angles for the opt-in page, and just make sure that they had a chance to opt in. And then once we build our list, we're thinking more long term as well, and we can send people emails for the length that they're a subscriber. The second rule is that we're going to look for is, we don't want to be cheap on our journey to greatness. We don't want to be cheap when we're getting traffic. If you don't understand this full picture, because we're looking here at like the front end stuff and the product and stuff like that there, but if we don't understand this full picture, will always be looking for the easiest and cheapest way to generate traffic. You've got to understand that not all traffic is created equal, and you have to know and be ready to pay top dollar to acquire a visitor. Now, when we fully understand the endless traffic goldmine and conversion system, we will be able to afford to outbid our competition. Okay, so the reason why this is, and we'll get into this a little bit more, is because we're not actually playing the short-term game. We're going to be talking about this in a little bit later. We're not playing the short-term game, we're going to be playing a long-term game. And like I said, when we're just sending traffic to a sales page, we're going to be losing the model. When we're doing this capturing, our first rule is never waste a visitor. We're capturing our remarketing and our emails. We're going to be more effective. We're going to be playing long-term when we're generating emails. And with our email follow-up campaign and our remarketing campaign here, we're going to generate a significant more ROI when we're implementing these other strategies over the long term and, building a brand. So the next big rule, which is rule number 3 with traffic generation, is it's not about the product, it's about the offer, okay? And this is what it comes down to, is on the landing page. And the landing page will not be talking about the product, we'll be talking about the result that people are looking for. We'll be building a list of people all interested in that particular result that your product, passion, or idea delivers. In the endless traffic goldmine, your product is irrelevant. Anybody can just jump in and start selling the same thing that you're selling, especially if you're an affiliate. So you have thousands of competition when you're selling the same thing. If you're a local restaurant, or how many other restaurants are in your town, okay? The question is, then how are you different? And if you're going to be selling a phone, and you think, okay, it's not about the product, it's about the offer, then how can you stand out, and how can you make yourself stand head and shoulders above your competition? You'll never do that if you're just your product alone. You'll only do it with the offer that you build around the product. So there's going to be your offer, okay? So this is what we're going to look into here in a second. Your business is not necessarily the product. It's really the wrapper around this product, okay? It's really this part here, and when we're looking here at this, so this is the product here, which is your sales ascension, but your business is really this, which is your email, your website, unique experience, all this stuff, your pre-framing. This is more like your business. Now, what you really want to do is build this wrapper around your product, and you want to do this and follow up with people and communicate with them the different channels like SMS, email, retargeting, and build a brand around the product that you're selling. So you don't necessarily want to sell the product. You don't want to sell the product. You want to sell the offer that's around the product. And it might take a little bit of time to think about this, but you want to build your offer around it, and your offer can be your landing page, it can be your pre-frame pages, it can be your remarketing, all these different things, your angles that you're coming people at. It's all going to help, and your email follow-up is all going to help with generating that ROI for yourself. So people don't actually buy the product. What they do buy is outcomes, representations, feelings, and emotions. This is what you want to build your business around. You want to build your business around the outcomes, representations, feelings, and emotions that your product delivers, not your product. You don't want to build it around the product or like so much, but build it around these other things like outcomes, representations, feelings, emotions. Okay, so many people out there are selling products and they're never establishing their own brand or home on the internet. Why would anybody do business with you when they can just buy the same product somewhere else off somebody else? People will pay more money for the same thing because of the brands that attach to it and the feeling that they get. So for example, a Rolls Royce car and then a normal $10,000 car or £10,000 car. Why would someone pay, 50 to 100 times more for a Rolls Royce car than they would just for a normal car? It's the same thing. It does the same thing. It gets you to the same place in roughly around the same amount of time. But it's really the feeling that you get. It's the brand that's attached to it. People will pay 10 times more because of the brand attached to that product rather than just the product alone. Okay, so that's really important, that you want to be establishing this kind of thing and establishing your unique experience and your personal brand and your brand. So you should build your brand around answering these two questions. Why do you exist as an entrepreneur? So what's your purpose? And why should anybody care? What's your brand's purpose? What's your business's purpose? So the law of compensation states that you will get paid based on the need for what you do, your ability to fulfill that need, and the difficulty there will be in replacing you. So if you want to get paid money and generate income and make sales, there has to be a need for what you do. Then it's your ability to fulfill that need in the marketplace. So we're covering traffic generation. Plenty of people are wondering, how do we get traffic? Then the difficulty there will be in replacing you. So do you think building an opt-in page is hard? It's not really that hard. Do you think building a website's that hard? It's not really that hard. Do you think establishing a brand is a little bit harder to do? Yes, it's a little bit more difficult. You got to get clear on a few things, and not a lot of people are coming thinking about it like this and playing the long-term game. You want to have your home on the internet, your brand, which is literally like a digital ecosystem. Do you want to have a digital ecosystem kind of like this here, where you've got like a lot of different things going on? You've got these different traffic channels coming to your landing page. You've got your unique experience, your follow-up, all these different things. Create it, built out. It's going to take a little bit of time. Or do you want to just be the one and done entrepreneur, where you just make a sale, you're just sending traffic to the product, you make a sale, you're happy, you have to go find more traffic to bring to your website to make a sale? Are you just going to be a one and done entrepreneur, or are you going to play the long term game and build yourself a digital ecosystem, just like Amazon and Facebook is? Really, this is the secret sauce. So the secret sauce is building your digital ecosystem and brand, and this is going to create freedom, okay? Just like Amazon and Facebook is, kind of just the same concepts of what they're doing. They built their own thing, their own brand. You're building an ecosystem, or you're one and done entrepreneur. You'll be a lot richer when you think long term and build a digital ecosystem rather than just running a promotion to make a sale. If you think digital ecosystem and long term, you're going to make a lot more money. The next big idea is rule number 4, which is play long term. Playing short term is just thinking about, how can you make as much money today on just that sale. So how much money did I make today? I ran this traffic campaign. How much money did I make? This is super short term thinking. When we think long term, we're actually going to be building an email list, retargeting polls. So we'll be following people out the internet, building like almost a celebrity. Then on our follow up, we'll be communicating with people on the long term, taking them back to our brand. Everybody's getting to know, like, and trust. This is more of a long term game. You're going to get a better ROI, all these cool things. So if you're just thinking, how much money you're making today, then tomorrow you have to do that over and over and over and over again. What you want to do is position your business in a way when it comes to the endless traffic goldmine, so that the work that you do today will be an extension of what you did yesterday. You want to be building this on an extension of what you did yesterday. So it's getting more better, you're getting more difficult to replace, and you're creating more leverage for yourself. You want to build each day on the next, rather than just, thinking short term, how can I make a sale? Long term, building next day on the next step on the next step on the next, until the point where you have the machine and ecosystem in place that's going to be working for you whether you're there or not. In the short term, it's going to take some time to set this up, but in the long term, it's going to give you the ultimate freedom. What's the point of having a digital ecosystem? Well, it's a place where you can build you and be the evangelist of your product, passion, or idea. You see, people aren't going to buy just the product, people buy people. So over the long term, you'll build a relationship and connection with people, and then in the future, we can do the more business together. You share your ideas and what you want to stand for and what you're against. Some people are going to connect with you and some people will not. Okay, you want to be attractive to those that resonate with you and repel the people that don't, because ideally what you want to do is build your dream business with dream customers and dream lifestyle that inspires you every day. Behind every brand there's an individual, and at the core of that, no matter what size the company is, there's always a person there. So if you think Amazon, you're thinking Jeff Bezos. When you think Facebook, you're thinking Mark Zuckerberg. Different ones like this here. When you're thinking Tesla, you're thinking Elon Musk. There's going to be a personality that's here that's going to be the face of your brand. So, because people connect with people. Now we're on to rule number 5, and rule number 5 is really you want to have fun. So you want to treat this like a game and just have fun. Okay, don't look at all this marketing and conversions topic like this is just so much. You want to be the evangelist of your brand, the face of your brand. So rule number 5 is have fun. It's a game. You might be thinking that all this traffic and conversion stuff, it's like way over your head, or you might be thinking that it's so much and too much for you. But don't think that way, because if you do, it's going to be like that. Traffic generation can be complicated, and it can be very frustrating experience. So just remember that you have me, and we can work on this together and get through all this together. Just do yourself a favour and have fun and treat it like a game. Don't look at this as some sort of messy, complicated thing, or it's going to make your head spin. Just simplify it down and treat it like a game. When you look at it like it's just a game, you'll have more fun, and don't get attached to the outcome. Probably your very first traffic campaign is not going to be a success, and don't get attached to the outcome, because you know what you want to ideally do is you want to fall in love with the process of becoming the best version of yourself. Okay, and you want to just fall in love with the process of running traffic campaigns. The first one, you're probably like not going to be a smashing success, and what you really want to do is just fall in love with becoming the best at doing this kind of stuff, is generating traffic and converting traffic into leads and sales inside the Endless Traffic Goldmine. These were the 5 rules of the Endless Traffic Goldmine. Hope that you kind of got these ideas and we didn't go on too long here. This is just video 1. We've still got another 12 more video series, video lessons coming up, where in the next one we're actually going to be getting into the traffic strategies and the game plan. Then we're going to be getting into tracking and setting up your conversions and stuff like that there, and then we're going to get into the actual specific traffic sources. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the blog post if you're reading it on the blog. As always, I'm going to leave you the link to the Limitless Gold, so you can go ahead and check out that current offer there that we have for Limitless Gold, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great one. All the best. Bye bye.